Hello everybody and welcome to what may be a fun, dumb little bonus video, may be a video that I entirely delete, I don't really know. I am about 5 days into recovering from my wisdom teeth and I've been homebound for the past 5 days, I can count. So since I can't really do actual work, I thought that I would do something fun like treat myself to a giant Lego ship in a bottle and build it on camera and just kind of see what happens. I've been watching a lot of Man-at-Arms Reforged and Adam Savage's one-day build, so I've been inspired to do stuff. Now let's see. Oh gosh, there's so many pieces. Water, I know what that does. Oh geez, this is all so overwhelming. Nope, those are the instructions. I need those. Okay, let's see. I might cut a bunch of this out. Who knows? It's the magic of building shit. Oh look, it's got pictures. That's cute. Model designers don't necessarily care. Let's build our ship. Okay. Let's see. Number 1. Nope. Nope. There we go. Alright, let's attempt to organize all this crap. I have done a lot, oh gosh, of Lego building in my years, and I actually sort of picked it back up a couple years ago in college when I was taking a Greek class at an institution that will go unnamed with a professor who will go unnamed. That was very not fun for me because learning languages is difficult and I'm not always the best at it, even though I've taken my turns with Italian and French and Latin and now Greek. It's still a really tricky process and it doesn't always click at the same point in time for the same people, so I was having a really rough time. And class was no fun, so instead of paying attention, what I did was I'd think about designing my own Lego sets. So over the course of that summer, I designed and built a little scale model of the Duomo in Florence, which is currently sitting on my desk. Well, actually, it's currently sitting in a box, but it will be sitting on my desk when I move back to where I'm moving after I'm here in town, because this is not my college apartment, that's for sure. This is my parents' house. Yay. Yeah, I spent pretty much all of my time just thinking about this one build over the course of, basically 2 months. And I put a lot of effort into it, and it ended up turning out really well. But that was sort of the big thing that got me back into Lego after being a big fan when I was younger, but really kind of falling out of it in high school and into college when I had other things to do, like video games. But it's very nice. It's enjoyable. And I'll try not to just talk over the whole thing, because there's probably some times that I'd rather just have, what's the word when you speed it up? I don't know. Fast forwarding? No. Time lapse. Time lapse. Let's see, I need the red pieces here. Actually, I need the blue pieces and the red pieces. Building Legos is fun. It's just an easy, dumb little thing you can do to pass the time and have something really pretty on the other end of it. And designing Legos is also fun, because after the Duomo that I made, I did a couple more sets over the course of the year. I did a Venice set, which is actually based on the set that I made a small little video about when I was actually taking that very Greek class. I put a video up on the channel about, hey look, Lego made a set about Venice and it's really cool. What I did was I took that set and basically built the entirety of St. Mark's Square so that I could take the St. Mark's Basilica and the Bridge of Sighs and the tower and put those into a over set of the whole square that I designed. So that I thought that was really cool. It turned out okay, but it was fun. I did that. I built a bunch of stuff for my friends actually afterwards. That was really fun. My roommate is Turkish, so I built him a very famous mosque on the river in Turkey. That's by his house that he really enjoyed. I built a very particular building for Red. That's from where we went to school, which she thought was cool, or at least I think she thought was cool. Where does this go? Oh, geez. This is confusing. I also built a Parthenon for my mom because she's Greek. I built a Pantheon for her boyfriend because he's Italian. We talk history, that's always really fun. And I built a trireme for one of my history teachers who actually got me into Greece and history and classics and all that stuff. So that was a little thank you present for him. And then I tried to build a couple other fancier projects, which didn't entirely work out the way I thought they would, because they were a little bit more complicated than I would have hoped. And there were some pieces where I just couldn't, some builds where I just couldn't get the right pieces at all, which is a little annoying. So I have a beautiful church sitting on one of my shelves. No, it's in a box, but it was sitting on one of my shelves that didn't have any of the domes on top of it, so it looked entirely unfinished. Whoops. Okay, I need to actually pay attention to what I'm doing here. I mean, I don't, but, like, I should. Okay. And this goes there. I think right now I'm building the ship part of the ship in the bottle. In my downtime, I've also been watching a ton of videos by Rick Steves, who is one of the greatest travel writers anywhere ever. He does a lot of, well, he does all of Europe, and I've been religiously watching his videos in my overflowing downtime, because he does a really good job of showing the history of the place, the way to really get the most out of travel, how to see the little treasures, as well as what to appreciate among the the big fancy crowded tourist sites. So just watching Rick run along through Italy and Germany and France and all these places has been a fun way for me to feel like I'm not trapped in my house for a week while I'm waiting for my gigantic holes in my face to close up, because there are, I looked in the mirror, there are entire holes in my mouth, and it is horrifying. That's what happens when you get your teeth taken out. I can feel weather changes now, which I think makes me like those wolves from that movie Day After Tomorrow. That's annoying. Red also got her wisdom teeth taken out, and she says that she can sometimes still feel pressure changes through her teeth, which is something that I have to look forward to now, because such is my fate in my endless suffering. Not so much anymore. I've graduated. Well, maybe the suffering begins. Oh gosh, what's this? Oh, but speaking of my boy Rick Steves, he was a huge inspiration for my little travel videos that I've been doing for Copenhagen, Iceland, Copenhagen, and Greece. Just that style of how to go into a place and talk about it and really show off the history to the best degree. Except I do dumb jokes. Is the difference. He's been a huge inspiration for me there, so I'm just trying to do my best to emulate him in this. But aside from, what am I doing? This goes there, okay. Aside from just making the videos, I've also been writing down the notes of my travels in this little book here, which I bought right before I left for the trip. I bought this beautiful journal from a Barnes & Noble just because I thought it looked really pretty. It's got this, map and the flappy cover and all that jazz. So inside here, the first line is, "It is a great shame that a book as pretty as this should bear the vandalism that is my handwriting." And it's true because my handwriting is absolutely horrid. But I just wrote some notes about Iceland, Denmark, Copenhagen, Greece, trying to put some deeper thoughts to travels beyond just, I went here, it's a pretty thing, which, granted, there is value in that, but the idea was to try and dig a little bit deeper and understand what it is about these places that made me feel the ways I do. Because travel is special because you really get to experience different worlds. And it's fun to just go and see, but if you don't take the time to really think about it afterwards, about what it feels like to be in a different place, I feel like may as well not have gone, because it's so special, the experience that you can get by going somewhere else. So I've been trying to do exactly that, just put some thoughts to paper. Oh gosh, what are we doing here? Oh, it's one of those. Okay, that makes sense. That makes much more sense. There are about 1 billion of those pieces there. I'm just a dumbass. Okay. So it's coming together now. Oh, look at this. That's pretty. I mean, it'll be much prettier when it's actually a boat at the end of the day. I wonder how long this build will take. In theory, it's 7 o'clock, so I should be eating dinner right now. But who cares? I'm on wisdom teeth schedule. Time doesn't matter. It's like Iceland. Time does not matter in Iceland. Is it midnight? Too bad. It's still daylight. Fuck you. Well, in the summer. Unless it's winter. In which case, is it noon? Too bad. Still darkness. Fuck you. I will say, Iceland was a real treat. I definitely was not well, I can't say I wasn't expecting anything, because I knew to expect something. But it was so unique from really anything that I've ever seen, because even in the smaller cities that I've been to in America and in Europe, they're all still fairly, normal in terms of their climate. It's all stuff that I've more or less grown up with and been used to. But Iceland is so wildly out of the norm for me that it was really fascinating to see something so completely different at basically the absolute northernmost comfortably habitable point on Earth, and to see that it's just so stunningly beautiful throughout was amazing. Because not only was the nature a real treat, which, to be fair, I was expecting that. I was just blown away by how modern and how well laid out the city is, because it's so new in terms of when it was built, because Reykjavik didn't really exist 200 years ago. It was just a handful of towns, or a handful of huts and villages or whatever was up there. But it really only came into proper being under late Danish rule in the very late very early 1800s, and I admittedly don't know as much about Danish or Icelandic history as I probably should to talk about this, but I was just blown away by how well organized Reykjavik is, because it's easy to just plop down some streets and call it a day. Or does this not attach to anything? This piece doesn't attach to anything. What the oh, okay, I'm fixing it. Well, I guess it doesn't need to attach to anything. But oh yeah, Reykjavik. I just loved it. It was quaint, very cozy. It didn't have a lot of stuff going on account of the population being quite small. For a capital, it's only like 100,000, 150,000 core key population, really. Because Iceland itself, the population is only like 300 something thousand, which is basically nothing compared to most other European, especially cities. When you think of huge sprawling metropolises, but it's still just so well put together, and it feels like it was really laid out with thought, because in between all these big open shopping streets and whatever, there are all these neat, quaint, very colorful, well, not like Venice or Italy colorful, but like bright and very pleasant open streets where you can really get, oh my god, there's so many flags here, holy crap, where you can really get a sense of I don't know what the word is, but it's nice. Okay, it's open. You really feel connected to the nature. The city is very calm. It is profoundly calm, I will say that. And I very much enjoyed that part about Reykjavik. Probably couldn't live there on account of the not real weather patterns, because it's clearly just the developers didn't get the skybox timing right. Oh well, but I can see myself popping over to Iceland many times in the future. Because Iceland Air, what my girlfriend and I did is we took this beautiful little program where Iceland Air will fly you from Europe to America, America to Europe, wherever you're going, and you stop in Iceland for 1 day, 2 days, up to I think 6 days, something like that. And it costs as much as just one flight, but you get 2 into Iceland and then to your final destination. So it's great because you can just go to wherever you're going, but stop in Iceland first, which is really nice because Iceland, like I've said a lot, probably to the point of it not meaning anything, is great. I think that the main church in Reykjavik, Hallgrímskirkja, the Church of Hallgrímur, which was built as late as the tower was finished in the late 80s, so it's a remarkably new church. I think it's a Lutheran church because I think the Danes brought Lutheranism to Iceland. I usually don't like Protestant churches on account of the whole boo, art is bad for you thing, which admittedly I am biased, I will accept that, but that's my taste. So usually I don't end up liking Lutheran churches, but this one, it works so well because the stark beauty of the Icelandic landscape, which is so simple and to an extent so harsh, it ends up working so well because it feels so open and spacious and like you're really out in some fjord looking off into the ocean or whatever. It really sells that sense of scale on the inside beautifully. And the outside, it looks like the exact inspiration for the MCU's version of Asgard, with all the spires and the kind of geode isn't the right word, but the very kind of hexagonal. There's a word for it. Well, the spiky thing is, I'll throw up a picture or something if I can be bothered to do it. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. That part of the city I really liked. But the other part that I found absolutely stunning was the waterfront in the city, because, come on, get in there, there we go. Because on the waterfront, the northern part of the city, the bay, the titular Smoky Bay from which Reykjavik got its name, because Vik just means bay, which is why Vikings meant people who go to the bays, go baying, essentially raiding. Okay, there you go. Oh, shit. Okay, let's try this again. Come on. Anyway, the bay in the north of Reykjavik's waterfront is absolutely stunning. Front to back, there's the water, the mountain, the waterfront, the architecture. I usually hate modern architecture, but the way they do it in Iceland is just so stunning. It's again so stark. It's strong lines, but it ends up working so well for a reason that I cannot explain. It was absolutely gorgeous. I could sit on that one slope for years. And here's the ship. Ta-da! It's so cute. It's adorable. I'm gonna put it in a bottle forever. But that was really something that I deeply enjoyed from Reykjavik. There's also a really cute lake on the far side of town. And you? Crow's nest? Haha, crow's nest. That's cool. Alrighty, oh, and another one of these, okay. Oh, we're building the thing. We're building the bottle part with two. Wait a minute, what's all this crap? This, I mean, I get why LEGO gives you the extra pieces, but I'm always dubious. I feel like something's wrong if I have this many extra little bits just hanging around. It's like they're mocking me. Like, oh, 17 pages later, you're gonna realize you fucked up, buddy-o. That happened to me one time, is my dad got me a wooden Da Vinci catapult builder set for me because he knew that I really liked Da Vinci. I was on a Renaissance kick, also known as me in all of high school after playing Assassin's Creed 2 because that game is the best. But I was on a huge Renaissance kick, and Dad got me a Leonardo catapult wooden set thingy, like I just said, because I'm bad at exposition. And what I did was I was going to be very careful, and I built it once without any of the glue to make sure that I did it right. But then I went back and disassembled it and built it again with the glue because I had done it right and proved that I could do it. But then I built it wrong after gluing it together because I was cocky and careless. So I measured twice, so to speak, and then I cut once incorrectly, and then I had to go back and unglue it and rip it apart, and that was a mess. So I don't know how I got on that story, but that is that. There we go. I'm gonna rip my hand off of this thing at some point. Okay. All this for just a bottle? Jeez. Okay, let's see what we're doing. Oh great, they're all clear. I can't see a goddamn thing. Shit. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let me tell you about that. Assassin's Creed was probably one of the most transformative experiences of my entire life, and I can say that with next to zero hyperbole. Because before playing Assassin's Creed, I thought that history was dumb. Because the only history that I'd done was American history, which I still maintain is terrible. Some people think that that's not the case, and they're perfectly welcome to believe that. Not everyone can be right. But I had never had good experiences with history. It was always filtered through some lens or some topic that I just, for some reason or another, didn't enjoy. Even European history, when I got it, it was kind of like, okay, well, what's the point? And ancient history for a long time really didn't connect to me because I liked Greece, but it was always kind of like, okay, yeah, Greece is, my culture, whatever, and I didn't really have that strong of a feeling towards it, so even still it was kind of like, all right, whatever. But playing Assassin's Creed, the first one, which it took a year of convincing to get my mother and father to let me play it, because it was an M game and I was like 11. 11? Because Assassin's Creed turned 10. Yeah, like 11 years old. Gosh, way too young to play that game. Well, I won the argument. But what did it was that I could turn off the blood in the settings, and then my parents said, okay, fine, you can play it. Then I played it again a year after it came out, and I fell in love with it. It was just amazing. I was able to run through places and see things happening in a way that I'd never even considered before, that history was anything other than dates in a textbook. Totally new to me. And then Assassin's Creed 2 I was excited for just because I thought, oh yeah, more the game that I like it. It's fun. And then I played it, and it was a really good time for me. And I enjoyed myself and got to learn a little bit about cool places in Italy. My mouth is starting to hurt. I've been talking so much. But then it was really my sophomore year of high school. We were doing a unit on European history. Oh gosh, we're flipping it over now? Okay. A unit on European history, and the first thing we read was Machiavelli's The Prince. And this was after the year before in Brotherhood I had become best friends with Machiavelli and learned all about why you need to be sneaky sometimes. So just being able to put the game to real life was this huge moment of like, whoa! Seeing how things can be so deeply connected across time was a huge moment for me of just waking up in a sense in a way that I'd really never done before. And then after that, history was just this huge open door for me. Love is an open door. The best honest trailer is the one where they turn the Love is an Open Door into Totally Gonna Pork. Perfect. From Frozen. But it absolutely opened up my eyes to the possibilities of learning history and the joy to be found in it, because there are so many worlds out there that are ripe for exploration, and I still can't even explain in a sense why I enjoy classics and history and all this junk as much as I do. I just do. It's fun. It's fascinating to be able to dig into a world so fully and know so much, but still be aware of how little we know. I really can't put it much better than that, but it is just endlessly fascinating to me. And Assassin's Creed was the first big, the first big step in that very long process of warming up to learning about history. So that is what I strive to do on this channel, is to make history something not just boring facts and dates, but something alive and fun. And I don't always succeed at that. I will not attempt to kid myself. But I try, and that's what matters. And even if I don't, someone else will. Because maybe I inspire someone else who is much more talented than I am, and then that is my job done. Let's drink some water, because H2O is the most important meal of the day. Just confused about 3 different early childhood nutrition advertisements right there. Oh, 2 of them. Great. Okay. Blunk. Blunk. Nah. Ta-da. Yeah, getting my wisdom teeth out kind of sucked. It didn't hurt too badly. I didn't get an infection or anything yet. There's always time. But just being cooped up at home is no fun. And that's something I anticipate struggling with as I move forward in my career, because it's easy to just stay inside all day and not do anything, but then you hate yourself because being outside is good for your soul. So trying to get out as much as I can, which is why I took the walk downtown to buy this from the store in person, because walking is healthy. Yes. So always try to take the time to just enjoy the outdoors when I can. Because, you know, I live in a city, it's not the easiest thing to just get up and go out. But it's still... Oh, look at that. I have no idea what this is, but it is cool. Is that it? Okay. Oh, look, the same thing again. Yay, it's... Okay. What was I saying? Outside. Yeah, go outside. It's good for you. Yeah, shit. Get back here. Because being inside is just, like, yeah, you can sit and watch video games and play TV all day, but after a certain point, yeah, I know what I did. After a certain point, it just becomes numbing. I started playing Wolfenstein, and it's pretty good. I want to like it, but it's just kind of, I think after God of War 4, I was spoiled. There's no substitute for good friends and good activities. That's something I want to do, is enjoy my time to do activities. Like going to the Renaissance Fair. It's been like 4 years since I've been to one of those. I want to go back. I want to buy a sword. I like swords. Swords are really cool. Shadiversity bursts through my window. Swords. If you don't watch Shadiversity, you should watch Shadiversity because he is great. He is one of the most knowledgeable people on medieval weaponry and warfare. I think more so weaponry. He does a lot of stuff about castles, actually. He's really good on castles. Oh, shit. But yes, you should definitely watch him because he is very funny and very smart. And he has the kind of videos where you can tell that he's holding back about another 2 hours worth of conversation on the topic, and just chooses to say what he says. Whereas I know some people, sometimes myself included, struggle to get a full 10 minutes onto the video. So it is very impressive to watch someone so knowledgeable do what they do. So subscribe to him if you are not already. If you like swords, you should subscribe to him because he loves swords. There are about 1 billion swords in the background of every single one of his videos, and it is amazing. Oh, this is the back of the ship case. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, here it is. It was under my nose the whole time, like it always is when it comes to Lego pieces. One of the worst Lego experiences of my life that was entirely my fault was one Easter I attempted to build the legendary clone turbo tank from like 8 or 9 years ago. And oh man, that was a bad time because I just threw all the pieces onto the floor and told myself that I'd figure it out later. I didn't organize them at all. I put them down on a multicolored carpet. What was I thinking? It was absolute mayhem. Ta-da! Yeah, that was deeply unpleasant for me and my mother as well. Poor mom, long suffering. But eventually I came to my senses, took all my pieces upstairs, and then I built it the right way by not attempting to find every piece as I needed it on a multicolored carpet. Lunacy possessed me. I replayed Journey the other day, which was very fun because Journey is an excellent game and you should play it if you have not already. I finally got the big fancy white robes that you get for collecting all of the symbols scattered throughout the game. It took me about a half dozen playthroughs to actually get it because in the 6 or 7 times that I have played Journey, I myself have only actually played it once because all the other times was me showing it off to my friends. So I'd have them play it instead. So my roommate, my girlfriend, my roommate's girlfriend, my girlfriend's roommate, not quite, but all these people I get to show off one of my favorite games to. And only the other day did I decide I'm going to play Journey myself and get all the stuff that I want. So now I have it, and I don't have to worry about other people being like, oh, wait, I need you to get this thing for me, because that just makes the experience worse. But it's so fun just to see people get to experience it for the first time, because I experienced it for the first time many years ago, I think around when it first came out. But it has been such a long time since then, and I have lost that wonder and become a terrible, jaded adult. But other people still enjoy it so much for the first time, and it's so special to see that happen. So being able to show it to them is always something that I very much get a kick out of. And I learn new things every time about Journey and Abzu as well, which is a very similar type of game. That's basically Journey but set underwater and very pretty, and Austin Wintory once again delivers a fantastic score, because that man is a genius. But I love those games so much. It is so fun to watch other people play them and experience their wonder at it, because while I am the kind of person who is impatient and will zip through a story because I want to be done with it, which is why it's taken me forever to start reading The Hobbit until just now. I am reading through it. I'm doing it. It's wonderful watching other people just take their time and explore the world slowly and carefully. It's very rewarding to see. Okay, yep, did that. Cool. Okay, more pieces to do things. Attach those. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. This video is going to turn into Blue recommends a million things for his Patreon subscribers to do. I think Rick Steves, Journey, Abzu, Shadowversity, Austin Wintory. A lot of good stuff out there. We live in a golden age of media. We can have whatever we want, whenever we want it. Which is amazing. Who needs court gestures when you have Netflix on tap? That's the other thing. Haven't really been able to work this into a video because it's too much of a tangent, but the way we live would make all but the richest kings in history, queens too, immensely jealous. We can have spiced foods whenever we want just by walking down the street and paying a little bit of extra money. The fact that we can regularly put pepper on meat is like, kings would strangle someone in person to be able to do that. One of the main reasons that Venice is rich is because it could just bring spices to places like it was no big deal. It is insane the amount of luxury that our globalized economy allows for, that I think a lot of people don't really realize when we talk about trade, and I'm not going to get political, don't worry. I'll just get economical. Because the golden goose that is open trade and free economies is a glorious thing that I think not enough people truly appreciate the wonderfulness of. Because we can, by and large, have whatever we want, whenever we want. And that's pretty damn cool. I want to go see some super cool place on the other side of the earth. All right, buy a plane ticket. Save up for it for a couple months. Or a year, whatever. Go. Easy. Done. It's amazing. That's something I want to keep as a part of my life for as long as I'm able to get on a plane, is travel, because travel is really special. I know I was talking about it earlier, and I'm probably whatever the word is, broken record, dead horse. But travel is very fun. It's very enjoyable. It shakes things up. I know that Seneca thought that there's nothing you can find by traveling that you can't find within your soul, but sometimes it's easier to look outside of yourself when you're not in the same space. I get it. You don't need to go anywhere fancy to retrospect, and that's entirely true. You really don't. But it is markedly easier to do that when you're not in the same daily grind all the time. Did I do that right? No, I did not. I need an extra piece. But I caught it. Saved me a lot of headache later. Because there are things about my childhood and my life that I've learned about myself over the course of just the past, couple weeks of being out and about that I never would have realized for another 5 years of being, in my same old city stateside. All right, more of these? Come on. And I get it, we're building like a thing, but... I'm surprised that I actually have had constant things to say. I mean, maybe it's horribly boring. I mean, I don't know. But also, sometimes it does take me a while to realize that, much as I hate to admit it, I am, to some minuscule degree, a type of celebrity, and people do, to some degree, care what I have to say, which is fuzzy and all heartwarming inside. But, yeah, I hope this is entertaining. I don't even know if you can see the build. I should probably bring this up a little closer. I want to get my gorgeous face, which is recovering from swelling quite well, and the actual build in frame. So let's actually scooch up a little bit and bring this in so you can see what I'm doing. What am I doing? This. Okay. All right, I am getting hot in here. I should probably close the windows, but I am too lazy. But anyway, yeah, with all the effort I put into the many, many things I do, I can only hope that you are enjoying yourselves, because that is all that I, as an entertainer, creator, whatever, can really ever want. Because sometimes real life just sucks, and it's nice to... Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Sometimes it's nice to just have something else to do, is what I was going to say. Where I was rudely interrupted by the fact that this ship does not fit in this here bottle. Okay, that is not good. This is precarious. Never mind, I fixed it. Cool. Yeah. Okie doke. Boat is partially inside the bottle. That's the perfect. Okay, this is what I wanted. They give you a beautiful little page that shows you exactly how far the boat is supposed to go. That's good design. I tell you, if Lego made the instructions for IKEA, no one would have problems. IKEA also is fantastic. It's just fun going there. Those guys have got that down to a science. One thing that I, after being to many IKEAs, have realized is that I wish that every culture had their IKEA. Like their one thing that's just ubiquitous that shows the best that that culture has to offer. Like Thai food recently, the past like 10, 20 years has been fantastic. It's been great. It's been everywhere. It's why it's in Captain America's notebook for when he's coming out of cryo sleep in Winter Soldier. Because they're actually, one of my professors told me about this, there are academies in Thailand that teach people everything they need to know about how to own and operate a Thai restaurant at different levels of quality. So they actually, they teach you how to do that, and then they ship you off to different parts of the world. So it's one of the biggest operations for exporting culture on Earth, and it is delicious, and I'm very thankful for it. So like IKEA, Thai food, every culture needs their like thing that they do really well that they just ship off to everywhere else. We have drone strikes in America. That's our thing. That's what we do. Whoops. But I wish that other cultures, I wish that I would get to see what other cultures excel at so much, because I'm sure there are those things. I just don't know what they are. Not that I'm, hiking the entire cultural worth of Sweden on furniture. It's not military victories, that's for sure. I've spent too much time in Denmark. I think they actually beat Denmark in a lot of those wars. but yes, it is cool. Okay, don't break. Thank you. Yeah, that is quite precarious. Okie doke, let's seal this off. Close the blast doors. And on this goes. This build I've actually been keeping an eye on for a very long time. In that I saw it on the LEGO subreddit when it was first announced as a project that's getting designed, and I thought, wow, that is gorgeous. I have to have it. It looks amazing and I want to build it. And then I was in college, so I didn't. But I'm not in college, so I can. I'm glad that I saved it for now, because this is definitely better than just sitting down and watching more television. Oh, okay, this is the best part. Let's get the money shot for this. Ka-chunk. Okay, do that. Okay, so let's see how well I. Oh, okay. Can I do this? No, I can't. All right. I'm going to try to pour all these little blue shit. No, damn it. Okay. Okay, this is a bad idea. This has gone horribly awry. All right, you know what? Caught it. Cannot say that for the other 20 million pieces that flew away. Where did that one go? Come back here. Where? You know what? I'll find it in about 6 years. Okay, that's fine. That's gone forever. And now, shit. And now for part 2. Let's get a nice side angle. Actually, wait, can I do this? Damn it. No, come back here. You last two. Okay, so taking on water, Captain. Oh, that's pretty. Alrighty. Last section. All this crap. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put this back and get my face back in shot because I'm pretty human. Took me a lot of years to figure that out, but I did. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're an internet troll, please let me know. Oh dear. Okay, this is many things at once. I'm not ready for this. Okay. U plus shit. Oh yeah, I can just peel these open. I didn't need the knife. I'm just an idiot. Oh, there are only 3. Oh. I was not supposed to do that. Whoops. Alright, let's play a game of Blue gets himself out of a tricky situation. Poorly. Okay, shit. Okay. Carelessness only takes a second and it will cost you much more time in the future. That's the moral of the day. Oh, it's a little halvesies doohickey. 1 and dose. Yay. I love it when that happens. Okay. Ooh, that's a pretty piece. Aha, that's why that goes there. Gotcha. Alrighty. Oh, it's a cork. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. All I have to do is not mess it up. Now, you may see the top part of a Lego build, but I see the world's most hilariously impractical wine glass. Just think, drinking a delicious 1999 vintage Lego Star Wars. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah. Don't break, please. But also stay together. Okay, moment of truth. Does it go on the side? It goes on the side. Yes. Okay. Ah. Ta-da. Oh, yay. That's one thing that always confused me about Legos, is that sometimes they have like these really brightly colored pieces that you just go ahead and cover up. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a logic to it, but sometimes it is beyond me. Probably makes it easier to track when you're actually doing the building part of the building. I've been watching a lot of videos about video games recently, because I've been playing a lot of video games recently. And I got back from my vacation just in time for E3, the big nerd Christmas, as it were. I always find myself enjoying E3, even though there's a lot of general annoyance associated with the way that things go down. I always find myself just happy to watch the pretty trailers. And the one that got me really excited, which I actually, it would come as no surprise, but in the lead up to it, I did have some doubts, was the new Assassin's Creed. I have been very eagerly anticipating, because I think it looks really cool. Did I do this right? Yes? No. No, I did not. What did I do wrong? Oh, okay. Cool. But the new Assassin's Creed, I was a little worried about it going in, because with all the different rumors and leaks and junk, everything was conflicting, as everything always conflicts. But even though I'm not an RPG person, I'm excited for it. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Because I really do think that the setting can be something really special. Because it's not every day that you get to hop along down to ancient Greece, but they seem to be really going all in on it, and I am excited as shit to climb a Assassin's Creed style Parthenon, because that sounds amazing to me. And even if the game itself isn't the best thing on earth, I still think that I will enjoy myself regardless. Come on. Where's the piece that I need? Oh, don't do me like this. Okay, Lego, I'm sorry I insulted the colors of some of the intermediate pieces, but now I need the plate, and you're making this very hard for me. Como si dice awkward. Okay, alright, Bear Grylls says improvise, adapt, overcome. I'm going to do none of those things, and instead run upstairs and see if I can't find a replacement piece. Alrighty, so I stole these two suckers off the back of the German Parliament, but I don't think they'll mind. Germany, I'm sorry. Needed to be done. I'm building a pirate ship, and it's awesome. Okay, next page. That only took forever. Ooh, this is pretty. Oh, I was thinking, what is this piece? It's a compass. That makes sense. That makes way more sense. Oh, that is very pretty. I like that a lot. Okay. You, and you will be my new friends, and we're gonna have a party. Alrighty. And ta-da. It's all very flashy. Oh no, this is where the nameplate's gonna go. It's got some little decorations on the side, because this can still fit a plate, as you can see. And then Aha. Here we go. Now we have the Leviathan in all of its aquatic-y, kraken-y looking glory. And we get a 3, and I really don't know what we're building here. That's the thing with Legos, is sometimes it's just completely mysterious as to what's going on, and then you put it together and it all just clicks. Literally. That's what Legos do, they click. Okay, now there's an arch. Alright, Lego, you're losing me. You're losing me. It's like whenever I watch Bob Ross and he gets an idea for a tree and you have no idea where it's going. You're like, oh, Bob, slow down. Don't get too crazy here. Then you know it just turns out perfect, because it always turns out perfect, because he's Bob goddamn Ross. Another brick there. Oh, this is, okay, this is the stand. Alright, that is immensely confusing. Oh, okay. Alright, okay. Now just 4 more of these. Great. So going to Greece is always an interesting time for me, because there's a lot of Greece trips that I have under my belt. I've been there probably over 21 times in my 22 years that I've been alive, and I still go back to Greece every year to see family and whoever else. And for the longest time, it was unbearably dull. I hated going there. There was nothing to do. There's nothing to see. Even on the days we'd go into Athens, it was hot and terrible and just generally muck and awfulness. But it's only really recently, even after getting into Greek history, that I started to enjoy actually going to Greece itself. Because my family doesn't live in Athens. If you watch the Greece travelogue video that I talk about how my family is from a very tiny town called Paeania. Well, not really. They're from an island called Chios, but in Athens they live in a town called Paeania. And it was always really annoying to go there because there's genuinely nothing to do or see in that town, except for a very small selection of one church, my grandparents' kitchen, and the occasional trip to the cemetery, which is not the most fun thing to do. So all my years, I always kind of dreaded going to Greece for all these reasons. My mom seems to just be, having the time of her life, not really doing anything in particular. And it took me forever to figure out that I, the tiny child that I was, did not yet have the pace of life that made taking a trip to just do nothing enjoyable. Because I was always relaxed enough and chill enough with the fact that I really had nothing going on in my life, that going to a place where I had to unplug seemed terrible. Because it was. I did not know how to entertain myself. So it just generally sucked. But, of course, here we go. There we go. Oh wait, no, other side? The more that I go, the more that I can appreciate that going to that place, that kind of, it's not like lounging on a beach. It's not like you're just kind of posting up with the waves and the shore and the beach all day long. It's really not a lot to see or do. It's not that kind of like beach getaway. It just forces you to sit back and slow down, which is something that I never needed to do until recently, which is why I can now come to appreciate a little bit more why my mom enjoys going to that part of Greece so much. No, not this shit again. I don't have any more of these pieces. Nah. Yeah, this must have been a mistake, because I'm missing a couple of these. Yeah. This always happens late in the game when you're being lazy like I am. You just make a couple mistakes that end up screwing you over later. What was I talking about? Greece. Yes. So, uh-oh, I'm missing a piece. This goes there. Okay. So let's do this again. So going to Greece, going to the small little town was never all that much fun, and then even going to Athens was never all that much fun because it was big and hot, and really the only thing I ever got to see was the Parthenon, which by the 7th time you've seen it, 13-year-old me was less than enthused to hike all the way up that tall mountain to the hot peak, bask in nothing but sweat and exhaustion. There's actually a hilarious picture, I'll see if I can dig it up and show it, of Little Blue having the worst time at the top of the Parthenon, at the top of the Acropolis, I should say, because they are different. Just so angry to be there, making this foul mood, this foul expression. It's hilarious. But in recent years, I've come to find, what's this now? Oh, okay. I've come to find much more to enjoy, and I have a better sense of the significance of all the stuff that's there on this big dumb rock, as I would have called it. Did I do that right? I did that right. So the Parthenon has taken a lot of time to grow on me, but it has grown on me. And now it's always a treat. I can go up there, gosh, like probably every weekend. Honestly, if I could just zip over to Athens and pop up to the Parthenon, wave, climb back down, I'd do it. If only I had a teleporter. But even still, Athens isn't all just Parthenons and fancy stuff like that. It's had a lot of hardship in recent years. If you know anything about basic global economics, you'll know that Greece has been going through a bit of a rough patch as far as debt goes. So even still, Greece was never a particular point of pride for me, because it was either I'm stuck in a hillside town bored out of my mind, or I'm sad and upset about the fact that my national heritage is laughingstock. Did I do this right? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So it's taken me a while to appreciate the virtues of modern Greece, because it does have virtues. Namely, even though they've been through a lot of hard times, a lot of it self-inflicted, a lot of it not. The modern attitude of Athens is, we're here and we're going to have fun while we are here. And you see it reflected in a lot of different day-to-day activities and all sorts of other stuff. There's just this attitude of, we can't change the universe, but we can enjoy our time just in this city while things are going on the way they are. So you see a lot of that. It's in a lot of ways it comes across as kind of carefree and lazy, but I think there is a certain understanding that it's born out of that. We can't. If you could change your fate, no, we can't. So we'll deal with it and we'll enjoy ourselves while we're here. And that took a long time for me to accept. I think that modern Greece is not like ancient Greece, and we shouldn't ask it to be like ancient Greece, because 2,500 years is a long time, and we don't ask that of really anyone else. We don't ask Egypt to be like ancient Egypt. We don't ask Italy to be like ancient Rome. We tried it. It was fascism, and it was terrible. We don't ask Iran to be like ancient Persia, but still Greece is always kind of asked to be like modern Greece, and it doesn't always work. So new camera setup because the laptop has to be plugged into the wall since I drained my entire battery in the course of the hour and a half I was filming this, but we're almost done, so home stretch. I'm just going to put this there. Perfect. But anyway, like I was saying, we can't expect ancient Greece to be like modern Greece, and the big problem with ancient modern Greece is just the unrealistic expectations of trying to reclaim or emulate the glory of a long past ancient empire which had slaves and exploitation and all sorts of crazy, awful things to help it get going. So it's really unfair to make the comparison because we really don't do it for anyone else. But anyway, aside from that, what was I going to say? I struggled for a while with that kind of conflicting notion of Greece and whether or not there was anything special about it, because for most of my life I just kind of thought, Greece sort of sucks. Don't care about it that much. But learning classical history, learning about the modern Greek history, which is a surprisingly rich historical tradition, the depth of which I really had never known about before quite recently, honestly, the past year or so. It really opened my eyes to just how impressive and complicated and I'm running out of words, but how strong of a history that it is, because for lack of a better word, some places have weak history where it's just kind of stuff happens. But Greek history is very, very dense. Even the modern stuff, it's hard fought, well earned, and I think it makes for a very good story. And I think the Greeks are aware of that, because there are a lot of things you can see around, like there's the Syntagmos Square where everyone goes to protest because that's what Greeks do, is they protest, and they have a very strong connection to that sense of civil, give me what I want, which is important in every healthy democracy. But it's really something else. It really is something else. And I don't know how else to put it but that. And I think since realizing that, my enjoyment of Greece has only gone up. Come on. There we go. I really worry that I'm building this wrong. No, I'm not. Oh, that does not go there. That goes there. And this goes there. So, bringing it back to ye olde Assassin's Creed, I am excited for the new one. I think it'll be really cool to see the Peloponnesian War done in such visceral detail, and being able to see that there's much more to Greece besides Athens, because even I kind of fall into the Acropolis trap, I call it, where we just get so obsessed with, oh, look at the shiny building on top of the hill, and forget that there's an entire country, an entire people, an entire world outside of this one building. While the Acropolis is amazing on account of how just deeply perfect it is, its construction to counteract all known optical illusions, and so many other, that's my mom doing a bunch of stuff with silverware in the background, how well it is built, how carefully machined, how thoughtful the artistic message on the actual building itself is, to not just show, hey, look, Athena's cool, but hey, look, the Athenian Empire is the best thing ever. It's not just a monument to Athena, it's really a monument to Athens, and then even beyond that, it's a monument to the idea of what Greekness is. That there's this kind of sense of together we can build something that's bigger than any of us could have done alone, that will last longer than, name an empire. So I think that's really cool. As a symbol, I think that the Parthenon is special for many reasons, but like I said, there's a lot more to Greece than just that, and even I fall into that trap sometimes, because it's so easy to look at that big shiny building on the hill and think, oh man, it's all right here, but there's so much more, and I myself am looking forward to getting into the smaller side stories and and other stuff when I play the new Assassin's Creed this fall. So you know there will be a bunch of videos going up on the channel about exactly that. So I'm very excited. I hope you are too. But it's cool because history is alive. Even though it happened a long time ago, its effects are still all around us. Old buildings are still around us. Old conflicts still shape, our borders and where we do and don't call home. History is, did I get that right? That's a globe, that's a globe. Okay, cool. History is everywhere. It is much like literature and mythology. It's inescapable. And it shapes our world in ways that it's often difficult to see. Because if we don't think to look for it, it'll just be like, oh, okay, that building's there because it's always been there. We live here because we've always lived here, when really, no, it's way more complicated than that. So that's my little mini spiel about why history is always important, which is why I will keep making videos about history, because it's a fun topic, and why you should probably end up playing the new Assassin's Creed when it comes out, because Assassin's Creed is fun. So, I think, if I've not bored you to tears already, with that, I have completed my ship in a bottle. And this is a beauty. Look at it now. We got the money shots here, the Leviathan, with 2 little globes to stand on. It is a 6-cannoned galley with 2 main masts and a 4. It's got this little doohickey in the front, which is a sail. It was placed inside a bottle by a malevolent sea deity, perhaps Poseidon, after someone talked shit about his son. Or no, not talked shit, but stabbed his eye out. So this bad boy's not going anywhere. I feel bad for the little Lego crew inside. They're probably starving already. It's been like 20 centuries in Lego years. But yeah, this has been very fun for me. I've enjoyed this. This is a good break from playing Wolfenstein 2 and watching HBO Rome, because it only is entertaining for so long. I've certainly had fun building this and talking about any number of random topics. Again, I hope you have enjoyed this. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, I'd be more than willing to do it, because I had fun. Let me know. God knows there are more Lego builds that I can do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I have been Blue. This has been a Lego, and I will see you next time.